Hello traders, it's your boy Gift Ubakwe, and in today's video I just want to do a trade recap for the week. I just want to show you the trades I got into this week. So the last time I did a video, I showed you that my account was sitting at a 9,327 thereabouts. So I was on a drawdown of about 7% in my account, and it was really not good for me mentally because I was beginning to trade with fear. And this week I've been able to bring the account back to 9,700, thereabouts. So I'm almost getting to break even, and I just want to show you the trades I took. So I remember that in the last video I said I was going to improve on my trade management. I was going to improve on my what's it called now, on my trades entries. Like I won't enter multiple trades, I'll just reduce and take only the best setup. So let me see if I was able to do that this week. I just want to give you an update. So let's go to my journaling. I decided to journal my trades. I told you I was also going to start journaling my trades, so I'm going to show you the trades I've taken so far this week. All right, so this trade was taken on the 3rd of July. So I lost to this trade. It was an AUDJPY buy. I'll show you shortly on the chart, but this is the before image, this image right here, and this is the after image. So I always do a before and after just to show me what I was looking at before I entered the trade and how the trade played out. So if you look at this trade, you realize that this trade actually played out just fine. This trade played out just fine. Let me go to the chart and show you exactly what I was looking at when I took that trade in AUDJPY. Let's go there quickly. AUDJPY. So this is the chart here. So let's go to the daily time frame. I normally would start from the daily time frame, and what I'm looking for is simple. I'm looking for what phase the market is at. If the market is at an impulse phase or a correction phase, and then if it's in a corrective phase, I'm looking for the next impulse. So what did I see here on the higher time frame? The moment you come to the higher time frame, you would see you see this impulse right here, you see this correction, okay, and then there was another impulse here. So I saw this next correction and I was waiting for an impulse. That was simply what I saw. But when you come to the chart to catch all of this, the first thing you want to do when you come to the chart is to mark your highest point on the chart and the lowest point for the daily chart actually. All right, so the highest and lowest point closest to the present price. Okay, so you don't want to come all the way down here to mark your lowest point. You don't want to do that because it's not relevant to the current price. So you want to mark it as close enough to the current price, so this won't be too far away. All right, so if you can see, you can still see the ray lines on my chart. So this was the lowest point. At this point, before I took this trade, I was looking at the whole of this as the correction. All right, the whole of this as the corrective phase, and then I was waiting for this impulsive phase to the upside for another touch up here before I expect to sell to at least this 90% rule. So that's my strategy that was my forecasting for this AUDJPY pair. So let's go to the 1 hour chart and see exactly what happened, how I lost this trade. So this was around this point. I'll tell you the lessons I learned from this and how I'm going to try to avoid this. So this was around this point. So I already saw this descending channel forming, just as I pointed out on the daily chart. So I already saw this descending channel on the correction phase. All right, so the whole of this descending channel, and I was expecting at least 3 touches. So I saw this as my first touch, second touch, and then the third touch. After this third touch, I was expecting the price to go to the upside, which was playing out quite nicely. All right, it was playing out quite nicely. I saw this lower time frame descending channel as well. At this point I expected this descending channel to give me a first touch here, a second touch, and probably a third touch around here. After this rejection, let me zoom in a bit, show you what I was seeing at that time. Okay, So in fact, let me do this. Let me just replay this price so you see what my thought process was at that point. Okay, so this was what I was seeing, and then I saw that the price had, give me a second, let me just clear the chart a bit. All right, so I saw that at this point the price rejected here, so I was expecting it to come down for at least one more touch, down here. But see what happened. Let's play the price. So the price did not come down there, so I quickly saw that as the completion of that smaller time frame descending channel. So now I was looking for a correction, so I saw the whole of this as an impulse, lower time frame impulse, and this correction is what I was looking for. So when you're replaying, you can't go below 1 hour, but I always take my trade in the 15 minutes time frame. So let's see what happened here. Awesome. So this was around where I put my buy stop order. So I saw this correction and I was expecting the market to go up, which is perfect. This plays out most times, okay? But the mistake I made was that, or maybe not a mistake, what I've observed is that from backtesting I realized that whenever I get into trades too early, if you look at this now, the time this happened was 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. rather. All right, 11 p.m. so almost the break of a new day. That was just around the open of the market. Okay, so that was not the best time for me to get into this trade. I would have waited for the market to do a little more correction before I got into this trade, but I got into the trade all the same. And let's see what happened. You see, the market took me in immediately, and that same candle that took me into the trade took me out of it for a loss. So this was the loss I had on AUD JPY. So you can see that my prediction was correct because the price eventually went up, but my entry was not on point, so I lost that trade. I would have made a potential 5% from this trade if it had played out, but I lost it. Lesson learned. All right, so let's go to the next trade I took. So that was a loss on AUD JPY, and then I took another. So I noted down here, if you can see, so my entry and exit. So it was just crazy, but when I woke up the next morning I was already out of the trade for a loss. So I entered this trade too early. I didn't wait for the correction to complete. I won't enter trades earlier than 6 a.m. anymore. But guess what? The next day, USD CHF buy, I did the same thing. I entered this trade too early. Now let's see this buy and see where I got it wrong. All right, USD CHF buy. Let's take a look at that quickly. So let's see the other trades I took for the week. So let's even take a look at all the trades I took for the week. So I took the first trade here, second trade, third, fourth. So I took 4 trades, all right, which is an amazing improvement compared to the trades I took last week. All right, so I think there was one more trade I took in USD CHF that took me out for a break even. I can't see the trade here, so I obviously didn't document that one, but yeah, I'm improving on my documentation. Okay, so yes, back to this. Now I made this mistake on the 3rd and I lost, but guess what happened? On the 4th of July, or on the 6th rather of July, I made the same mistake. So let's go to the chart and see that a trade on USD CHF, a buy. All right, I did the same thing I said I was not going to do on this. I did the same mistake. So it's just the human factor that makes us to keep losing trades even when our prediction is good enough. So one thing we must remember is the fact that it's not enough to know where the market is going. You must actually be able to enter in the right price so you don't get stopped out and then only to see the market go in your direction. So what was I looking at? Let's go to the daily time frame and see what I was looking at in this. All right, so I saw this market and I saw this as an impulse, the whole of this as an impulse. So there are 2 sides to this, but let me just show you the first side. So I saw the whole of that as an impulse, and then instead of the market giving us correction, it didn't give us a correction, it gave us another impulse and then another impulse up. So the market was just moving in impulsive phases, and so I saw the whole of this as a correction that would take the market up even more. All right, so that was what I was looking at. But then why did I enter a buy? Because most times the market gives us 3 touches, you know, the swing high, swing lows, 2 to 3 touches most times. Okay, and then the 3 touches are always like the most effective ones that pushes the market up. So I saw this as the first touch, the second touch, and then the third touch. Now, to even make the touches stronger, I'm looking for a descending channel around the third touch. This was exactly what the market gave me. I saw this descending channel on the third touch, so the market came down in a corrective manner. This was an amazing clue for me to start looking for a buy. So guess what? I went to the 1 hour time frame. So let's quickly take away this. Let's replace, so I show you exactly what the price was doing, what I was looking at the point of entry. Because I can't really go to the 15 minutes, so I might not be able to show you this in detail exactly, but let me see. So I was looking at the price, and this was exactly what I was saying. All right, this was the one that took me out for a here's a CHF. I think this was the one that took me out for a 1%. Let me show you this. This is the one that took me out for a break even, the one I said I didn't document. This was where the price was. So around this point I saw this price and it was looking pretty good, right? And then I got in like so. I got in like so for a, what is that now, for a I think 20 pips. Entered for 20 pips. So this was what I saw at this point. This was the break-even trade. I remember vividly. That was what I was looking at. Okay, so I saw this lower time frame correction, all of this, all right, the falling wedge, and then I saw this, or you can call this a flag as well. I saw this as a lower time frame impulse, and this upper part correction. So in the 15 minutes you see that clearly. Then I placed this, but let's see what the price did instead. So price tagged me in right there, and then I think it went up a bit. Let's see, let me make this a 1:1 so I see what exactly happened right there. I think I'm trying to look for where I think I saw something. I don't know if it was a 15 pips or so. That's why it's good to document your trade. But I know I moved my stop loss to break even at some point, and then the market came down to take me out. I can't remember the points right now, but yes, I know I didn't lose this trade. So this was about, I think maybe it was the 15 pips trade I entered, because I know it was 1:1, and then I moved it to stop loss. I moved it to break even. So I think it was a 15 pips, yeah, around that. So probably I moved it to break even too fast, you know, and then the market took me out, and the market took me out for a break even. I went in my direction. So that was the break even trade. And then there was this trade right here that was a winner. All right, there was this trade, this one right here, this was a winner. So I actually got into this trade a bit later. All right, I got into this trade a bit later. So what happened right here was this correction, the one I tried to catch here, I noticed it had not completed, so I waited for it to complete up here, and that was when I got into this one. So the whole idea was still the same. I knew the market was going to go up, and then I got into that, but my entry was a bit late because I was not on the chart when this move happened, so I got in right there. And then for a 30 pips stop loss, let's see what the market did. The market went my direction, and this was the second entry. I think I must have entered too early, somewhere around here, somewhere around there. That made me lose the first entry. Can't remember where it was. I think I didn't document one of these trades. I'm not sure which of them. Must have missed it, but I know I lost one of those trades. This is that the one? Oh yes, I remember. So this was the trade I lost right here. This was the trade, I think. Now I entered this trade with a 12 pips. Let's see, let's confirm. I think that was the trade I lost. 12 pips stop loss was the stop loss. Exactly, 12 pips. This trade up here, that was the trade I lost up there. Let's see that trade. Exactly, 12 pips. Let's go back to the chart. This was the trade I lost. This trade right here. I remember this trade now. This was what happened. My entry was somewhere around there, and I used the 12 pips entry for that. Yes, around that. Now the mistake was also that I got into this trade. I think I got into this trade a bit too early. Yes, I got into this trade a bit too early. So see, the time was 3 a.m. all right, the time was around 3 a.m. so that was when I got into this trade, and I didn't wait for this trade to give me a top. So it only showed me that there were touches down here, but I didn't wait for a top. I should have waited for a top, you know, so I would have something like so, you know, that confirms that okay, this is a correction, and then waited for a drop down before I enter. But I didn't wait for all of that. And then the trade, I set my entry stop like this around at 3 a.m. thereabout, and then I got tagged in, and then the market took me out for a loss. Exactly. So I got tagged in and out, you know. Then it was when I woke up, I now saw that this could probably be a larger correction, and then I adjusted this way. So I think this was the next trade that I won. Let's confirm that. So this was a loss, a 1% loss, and then the other one I won. Exactly. So that was the next one that I won when I corrected this, and then I entered for a 15 pips, a 20 pips rather. Was it 20? No, 15 pips. Let's see. I entered for a 15 pips entry. What was that now? Let me check that to be sure where the entry was. Just zoom out this a bit. Okay, I think I have an understanding now where that entry was. So let's go back to the chart. So I think it was somewhere in the 15 minutes. If you look at the 15 minutes, you would see this better. So I think that entry was somewhere down there, and it was for a 15 pips, something like this. So this gave me a confirmation of the third touch down here, and then it was something like this. So yes, this was my first touch, this was the second touch, and this was the third touch. So I was confident that okay, since the market is already showing me an upward move, this is probably going to continue going upward. All right, so I got into this trade, and yeah, moved in my direction. So what happened here was this trade took me out for a 2%. Exactly, so it was somewhat like this. Now, but for this entry down here, I entered this trade with a 1.2% instead of a 1%, because I had the extra $27 on the 300, so $327. I think, and at this point I had just $227 because I had lost one trade in AUDJPY. all right, so I had $227, so I entered with a 1.2%. so this trade gave me a 3.6 3.7 about that. All right, that was what I got from this, and this was a 2%. So these are the trades I took for the week. So this gave me 2%, this gave me 3.7 if you add the 0.2, so this was around the 3.7 thereabouts. Okay, so those were the trades I took for the week. If this kind of video makes sense to you, if you want me to do recaps like this, show you the trades I take for the week, please go ahead and like this video and comment in the comment section below. Let me know you want me to do more of this kind of videos to show you my trades for the week. And I hope you liked this video. If you enjoyed this video, do well to subscribe to my YouTube channel, do well to like this video and share. I'll see you on the next one, and please let me know if you like videos like this so I can do more of them for you. Thank you guys for your support. Now I'll keep trading this account conservatively and taking only the best setups. Let's see, the goal is to make another withdrawal by probably next week. Let's see. All right, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate, guys.